engagement. So we do a whole bunch of different things here. We have a webinar series that's monthly. It's the second Wednesday of the month at 1 p.m. Eastern. So our next one is on Valentine's Day, and it will be on cybersecurity. So it'll feature one of our consultants from the incubator talking about cybersecurity and gateways. This last month that we just had in the January one was about Google Cloud Platform, and we anticipate we'll do some more detailed presentations on Google Cloud Platform. We've had Globus, and we've had the screenshot that's here is the data carpentry program. And so we've been trying to have a very diverse array of topics. We also have featured gateways, some of which I think some of them, I think there's at least one that has been on the HUBzero platform. So we're always looking also, if you want to volunteer to talk about your gateway as part of our showcase, that would be awesome. Just get in touch with me or email help@sciencegateways.org and say, yeah, I want to be a webinar subject. So typically we put 2 together in an hour when we do the gateways. And we also we like to feature solutions that might be relevant to the people who are listening, so they could look at what it is that you're doing and say, oh yeah, I could do that too. So so if you think that you have a hub that would be relevant in that way, feel free to get in touch with us. As I mentioned a couple of times, we have our annual conference, and I'll give you a little more details about that on the next slide. But essentially, one of the ideas of this is to continue to bring people together in multiple ways so that they can exchange lessons learned and ideas. On our website, we have a bunch of resources. So the idea of the community engagement exchange is to provide resources, and some of them are through the newsletter. This is our most recent or last sample newsletter. But we on our website, we have resources such as research and links to learning materials. We have a growing collection of case studies, and our blog also includes some of the success stories that describe the services that we offer. So that's a good way to get a sense, again, of how maybe we can support your project. And finally, one thing I will point out, this is a joint effort of the incubator and community engagement, is this opportunity to have someone come and speak to your campus about developing a group within your campus that can support gateway development. So part of the idea behind this is to create greater job security and sustainability within communities of gateway developers, because so often a gateway is funded for a certain number of years, and then maybe they have maintenance funding, but it's not enough to keep that person employed in an ongoing way, and then they have to look for a new project. Well, by having a community of developers who are specialized in what they do, the university can keep those people on staff and continue to funnel projects to them and give them a steadier source of employment. So that's part of what the Gateway Group's idea is about. And the other thing I would mention is, again, is this partner program, which is for essentially organizations that have complementary offerings, and then the affiliates program, which is for gateways or other software developers who want to promote their software through our catalog. So, Community Engagement Exchange, as I mentioned, does the Gateways conference, and it's coming up in 2018 in September, late September. It is essentially the continuation of a series of what was called the Gateway Computing Environments Workshop that started in 2005. And it also is, we're kind of affiliated with a couple of the international workshops on science gateways. There's one in Europe and there's one in Australia. And what we have done with each of these conferences or workshops is to create a special issue that includes presentations that were papers developed for presenting at the conference. So the conference is now a 3-day affair. The first day is tutorials, and then the second and third day is a more typical presentations of papers or demos. We have a poster session and reception. It includes what we call a resource expo, which has a bunch of service providers, including some of our partners, talking with people in an informal way about the kinds of services that they have. And we have an open space portion as well, where people can propose session topics that have come out of what they're hearing at the conference and they want to talk more about. So I think I've covered everything here. So next year, Austin will be the third conference-sized version of the Gateways gatherings, and we've had between 100 and 120 people attend. So it's small enough to not feel overwhelming, but big enough to have a lot of variety.